Hi, I'm Tina. I want to tell you about my journey with mono. It's an invisible illness, and mine is a long, complicated story that started in 2011. I first got mono in 2011 in the fall. I got sick from like a cold, and I wasn't getting better. I was getting ready for my friend's wedding. I was her maid of honor, and we just kept thinking I would get better. I had a cold and a sore throat, and I was so tired all the time. I fell asleep in the weirdest places. In the car, when I was in my kids' room helping them pick up, I would just like curl up in their beanbag chair and fall asleep. Just the weirdest things. I had no energy. And sleeping didn't help. It didn't make me feel any better. But I was busy with the wedding, and all my energy I did have went into getting ready for the wedding. So finally, after the wedding, I went to the doctor, and I had mono, which seemed really weird. We thought it was a kid's disease. He told us that his son had just recently had it, and probably I just needed to go home and rest. That was harder on adults than on kids if they got it. And I hadn't gotten it as a kid, so as an adult it would be a little harder. So I needed to go home and rest. So I did. I went home and I rested. I was on pretty much bed rest because the doctor was worried about my spleen, I believe, being too enlarged. I'm going to mess up on names of the body. And medical terms and things like that, they just don't stick in my head well. So I might have to correct myself, but I'm pretty sure it was my spleen that was enlarged and I was worried about bursting. So I was on bed rest. So I was either in bed or on the couch, and it wasn't hard to just do bed rest because I couldn't do anything. I could barely walk. I had a hard time getting to the bathroom by myself. Getting out of the bath was really hard. I was so weak. I lost all my muscle tone in my neck. I would prop myself up with pillows all around my neck and head. I still have to do that on my bad days, but I lost all my muscle tone. I was so weak and exhausted, and I went home and I rested like he said. He said there's no medicine I can give you, nothing. He didn't tell me anything about diet or anything like that. He just said rest, only rest, and drink fluids, he said. So I did. I drank water and I rested, and I did that for 15 months. 15 months of my life when my kids were like kindergarten age and maybe kindergarten, first grade, and they were being homeschooled, and my husband would have to get up every day before work, and he set up all the kids' schoolwork in the living room on a little desk where they could grab it for me. We had all their stuff ready. He would get me water and juice and everything I needed, and get them stuff like cereal and snacks that they could get themselves because they weren't old enough to cook yet. And he would get all set up because I was stuck on that red couch that I hated, was my prison, for 15 months. And finally I got better, and it took forever to get better, but I did it. And then I was well for maybe a year, and I regained my strength. I started exercising again. I even started jogging again. I had my life back. I was really happy to be past mono. And then I went on a float trip with my husband and our friends, and I had the worst feeling about this float trip. It was bad. I was scared of this float trip. I had nightmares about it. I thought I was going to die on this float trip. I told my husband, and he said, no, it's going to be okay. You're just nervous. So we went, and we had a good time. And then the day of the float came, and they had told my husband that the water was down in the river, and they wanted us to go on this other section where, because we were with friends with a raft, and so they said this other section is much better for rafts right now, and you don't want to be dragging the raft in the one you had picked. But my husband was dead set to take this certain path because it let out at the campsite, and he didn't want to get on the bus and ride back because he didn't want to wait for everyone else to get done. So he insisted that we use the raft on the original river section that we had planned. We ended up dragging the raft. One person with us had a broken leg, so she could not get out and walk. She had to stay in all the time. She could only use the paddle. Another person got injured and didn't end up helping. So me and my husband pulled the raft over just a few inches of water in a lot of areas. Canoes and kayaks, they're having no problems. Our raft, not good. So I was drinking lots of water, but I wasn't drinking any Gatorade or anything because I had a lot of trouble with sugar ever since I had mono. So I was just sticking to water. Well, we get towards the middle of the float trip, and I'm not feeling good. I'm just, it's hard to remember, but I just know I did not feel good. I felt like things were closing in on me. We get farther towards the end of the float, and I know we have about a mile to go. I can't pull this raft anymore. They're arguing, they're all having problems. I was like, okay, if you don't get off this river, like now, you are gonna die. So I left them. I left the raft, I left all my stuff, I took a bottle of water with me, and I just walked, and they yelled for me and for a while, and I ignored them. I was getting off the river. And so I did. I walked like the last mile, and I got off the river, and I got near a building that had shade, and I sat there until they got off. And I don't know how long it took. I don't remember it very well. I remember we got back to the campsite, and I think I wasn't making much sense or something, and one of our friends had used to be an EMT and realized I was going into impossible heat stroke. So they packed me in ice, cold beer and everything under my arms, behind my neck, around my legs, just to cool my body temperature down. And that could have saved my life. I did not get heat stroke. I got heat exhaustion. And my husband packed up the whole tent, all our stuff by himself while they got me cool. I got the van completely cool, the air conditioning going, and he took me straight home. So we looked up heat exhaustion. Probably gonna be not feeling good for a few days. Well, a week later, I'm not doing any better. And I'm so weak I can't brush my hair. It turned into rat's nest. My mom tried brushing my hair for me. I couldn't do anything. It was hard to talk. And I said, I think I have mono again. And they're like, no, you can't have mono more than once. And I remembered the doctor telling me that he had just done some research, and in rare cases that you could get mono again. It could be in your bloodstream, like an autoimmune disease. But no one believed that it was mono. Finally, so we did go back to the doctor. The doctor at this point had forgotten what he had told me before and told me, you can't have mono again. You only have it once. I insisted on the blood test. I had mono again. So the doctor said, well, what can we do? Not a damn thing. And I was just like, there is no way I'm going home and going to rest, like he said, for another 15 months or however long. I had just lost 15 months of my life. like not that long before. I wasn't doing that again. I wasn't doing nothing again. So we found an all-natural doctor. And this was a totally new way for me. I mean, I had tried a few all-natural things already, but I really didn't know much about it. But I knew regular medicine was not working for me. They did not have any answers for dealing with this. So we found a really great doctor I still go to that does nutritional response testing, where they test your immune system through your skin with your muscle response to see with your muscle tension what parts of your body are having problems and what supplements, whole food supplements, will help and how many. And I know it sounds weird, but it worked. It slowly but surely, over years and years, we healed one organ after another as the mono continues to attack one organ after another. It's a retrovirus. Basically, that's what it is. They finally did prove that mono is an autoimmune disease. But our medical system doesn't have any way to actually help or fix autoimmune diseases. But the all-natural world does. I mean, I don't know that I'll ever get rid of the virus completely, but I can heal the damage it inflicts with an all-natural lifestyle and whole food supplements and being very, very diligent about my health. So I'm very careful with my health now, and after several years, I got better. I got my whole life back. I got to the point where I could exercise, I lost weight, I could hike, I was able to go on vacations, and I even got a part-time job. I didn't keep it very long because it was at a daycare, and I was getting every illness that those kids got. And it takes me a really long time to get better when I'm sick because my body's still fighting the retrovirus. And when I get sick, like I get a cough, 6 months probably. It takes me forever to get rid of a cough. It is awful. So if I start to get a cough, I'm right on it. And it might not be a cold that causes my cough. It might be some organ isn't working right. And now my body starts coughing because it's fighting something else. So I couldn't keep that job. I did get another part-time job. That's way less germs. But I got better. And I was really happy I wasn't struggling every day. But right now I am struggling. It's not anything major, I don't think. My kidneys and my liver are having some issues. Fluoride right now in the water, which our municipality and most municipalities put fluoride in the water. It's not healthy. They say it's good for little kids' teeth, but the rest of us, it's not good. And they put in doses, it's not good. But it's in our water, so we just put in a new water filtration system to get the water out. But, you know, we can't afford the one for the whole house, so it's still in the bath water and the shower water. So those are struggles that I still deal with. And I'm making this video because so many people have invisible illnesses. People don't see my illness, and when I try to tell them, they say things like, "Oh, you look so cute, you look good." Well, okay, I look good. I just told you I don't feel good. I just told you I need to sit down because standing is so exhausting. I can feel it, and that's frustrating. And I know other people go through the same thing with other illnesses, and I just want to be clear and let people know that they're not alone. And maybe my story will help you find some answers. Maybe you have an autoimmune disease and you don't realize you're making your body struggle more by using aluminum foil or other aluminum cooking products. And maybe you need a detox from aluminum. Or maybe you don't realize that chlorine and fluoride in your water could be really hurting your body. There's so many things. There's so many things I don't know about yet because they haven't been an issue for me yet. But I want to share. I want to share those struggles because right now, like, I've been doing great. And then the past week or few weeks, I'm not. And I got new supplements, whole food supplements. I mainly just use all natural whole food supplements that I'm prescribed by my all-natural doctor. And prescribed probably isn't the right word, but I heal myself, or we heal my body all the time. And right now I'm on some new supplements and they are working really well. I have that feeling where you can just feel it working, but it's so exhausting to get better. Like after you have a cold and you know the medicine's working, but it makes you really tired. Well, that's my feeling all the time right now. My meds are working really well. And I call them meds, but they're supplements. I'm going to use the word meds because that's just what I call them, but they're supplements. But they're working really hard right now, and it's exhausting my body. And that's frustrating because I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated that standing up is hard right now. I'm frustrated that I can't go to the gym right now. Even working at home, working out at home, I'm not sure. Maybe I can do a few minutes, but probably not a great idea to stress my body out too much. Might just do some deep breathing and gentle yoga, which is frustrating because I want to lift weights and I want to get on the treadmill and I really want to tone my body, but that's not going to happen right now because I need to heal and get better. And it's an emotional struggle because I don't have the energy to go out. I don't have the energy to do things. Holidays are coming up and I'm worried. I'm worried that I'm having another setback. And although this is probably a minor one, I've had so many Christmases where I was just laying on the couch at my family's house because I can't get up and talk with them or engage because I don't feel well enough. So I'm there, I'm included, but I don't feel well. And I don't want another holiday like that. I don't want to say, no, I don't feel up to going to Thanksgiving, or no, I don't feel up to going to Christmas, or just sitting there looking like, death warmed over because I'm having trouble holding up my neck, or need my husband to help me get out of the chair. And that's probably not going to happen this year because I've been doing pretty good, but it's a worry. It's an emotional struggle that I know so many people go through. And so if you have an autoimmune disease or invisible illness or mono, tell me in the comments. Tell me, that I'm not the only one dealing with it. And tell me how you're dealing with it. If you have any all-natural things that really help you. And like and comment on this video. Subscribe because I want to make more videos like this. I want to share more of my health journey and the struggles that it's been. Because it's been like 11 years of struggles because of mono. Something people don't think can make you that sick. So, and they're always doubting you. So, if you have an invisible illness, I don't doubt you. I know how hard it is, and I want to share with you and let you know that you're not alone. So, talk to you soon.